Hello, hello, hello. You've got your host Lauren today on the starting grid, not Chel's. My turn to take over. We've just decided today we're just going to do a bit of a chit chat, talk about obviously the weekend, talk about the Iceman's retirement, and we'll have a bit of a chat about the weekend coming up as well, the second of the triple header. So we'll obviously just start off proper quick with the weekend. What a weekend it was.
Wow.
What can we say, really? There's so much, yet so little to say. Start off with practice. Obviously, we saw the rain and we all were kind of rubbing our hands together and thought, come on, we've got rain. It's all we want. How our opinions changed.
Typical.
So practice, we saw obviously Leclerc crash out. So typical of Leclerc on a practice at the moment. And it was the second one now, I forgot.
Max, wasn't it?
Max, yeah. He just spun out, lost his back end.
Similar sort of thing.
Yeah, it was just spins galore, really. But guess what? Wasn't Mazepin. We've kind of lost that now, haven't we?
I think
he's been doing quite well.
Yeah, ever since Gunter got him his spinning top, I think he's been practicing with that instead.
Yeah. Oh my God. But hopefully we'll see some more because he's just been a bit lost, hasn't he? Yeah, he's just we forget he's there most of the time now, Mazepin. Then straight on to qualifier, which was obviously quite eventful, shall we say. We saw George Russell, as we know, in Q3 again. Just brilliant to watch. Every race fan just loves to see it. We saw Lando Norris absolutely dominating until... Did you end up rewatching that, Chelsea? Obviously you were at the festival.
Yes, so obviously without going into too much detail about what we're going to talk about next, obviously I was going to come home on the Monday and watch the race. Obviously, things happened and I thought, you know what, obviously I still want to watch something, obviously, and, I thought I'll go home when I watch qualifying. I'd already seen clips whilst I was at the festival anyway, but I thought I'll watch it. And to be fair, big shunt that for Lando. Like, obviously, we're all glad he's okay. Because I didn't see it. It was only a couple of hours after I saw it on my phone. And I went, wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't expecting that. But no, like I said, he was dominating. And it's just really, really unlucky that, it ended up that way.
Yeah. I think I was the same because I wasn't watching it as well because I was at a... party of such, and my younger sister just sent me a 5-minute long voice note telling me, and obviously sent me a clip of it, and when I didn't know if he was okay or not,
it was scary.
It was one of them where your heart sinks and you're really, really praying that they're okay. And it was the same in the W series as well, with their incident. It's quite harrowing, that track, really, isn't it? With what's happened, and so you kind of always thinking the worst when these incidents happen because we've seen the worst.
Exactly, and
with obviously Antoine Hubert, so it's quite scary, this one. I think every time we go into this weekend, we do get worried.
I think it's just a bit eerie, I think, obviously, with everything that's happened. And obviously, you can't forget the Spa endurance race the other week as well for the 4-car pileup. Like, whenever something kind of happens at that, at Eau Rouge and, that kind of area, I feel like you automatically now trained to think the worst. So, obviously, seeing Lando and the state of his car as well, like, pretty scary. And obviously, the way he hit the wall and the way the energy obviously all dissipated and stuff didn't really get to him, which is obviously lucky. He got out with it with a bruised elbow, which is really, really, really good to know.
And once again, we've got to thank the way the cars have progressed, because these cars are now saving drivers' lives 100%. Every day. It's just, we're just lucky. He was fine to race as well the next day, which is also very good. It was very good at the time when he was confirmed until we go on to the race. Or
can I just say quickly whilst
race?
Whilst we're talking about qualifying, that lap from George Russell. That lap.
So good.
I'm sorry. Get that boy in that Mercedes seat now. Like,
I think it's ready.
Out-qualified both Mercedes, and I know that conditions were different. I know Williams got it right with the tyre strategy and everything, and he taking that risk to go out on Inters. But that boy, if that's not proved that he deserves a better car, he was only 3/10 behind Max, for God's sake. Like,
it's unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it. Again, when I was out, I checked my phone and I was like, oh, I wonder how Polly went. And I saw George P2. I went, sorry, what? I'm like, am I reading this right? Or
I think I started shaking because I was
honestly,
like, how?
Honestly, what a lap. But yeah, if that boy hasn't proved that he's ready, now I genuinely don't know what more he can do.
Exactly. That's the thing. And what more can he do if,
Nothing.
you know, if he doesn't get that seat this year? What more can he show? He's shown everything in that car. He's shown how he can push that car to the limit. So let's see how he can push the best car to the limit, you know?
Exactly.
So I think Toto did say he kind of did mention George a little bit, and they know what he's capable of.
He can drive. That's what he said.
I think,
yeah, we all know he can drive.
We know he's putting fuel to the fire and he's stirring the pot, and I think he's doing it for the build up. But we all know what's coming. I think, especially with what we'll talk about later with Kimi, obviously giving up his seats. So, you know, what we said in our predictions currently.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Coming through.
I think it's going to end up that way.
Yeah.
Let me sort the dog out. But yeah, I think it's going to end up that way. But we'll discuss that in a minute.
Yeah. So next, then, obviously, as we say, is the not so race.
The race.
This was a struggle for me because obviously I was wanting to watch the race. I got home with minutes to spare before it started. Luckily, well, it was delayed because I was panicking I was going to miss the start, and it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We're going out. The medical car's out.
Yeah,
it was a shambles. And do you know who I feel sorry for the most? Is those people who paid for their tickets, because that race has been ran the 3 laps. They don't get the money back.
Exactly.
Hamilton obviously made a comment about that. So I think what would be nice is to see the drivers potentially putting their money together. They've got enough, and repay the fans.
100%. Yeah.
If that's how Hamilton feels, especially, I'm sure the other drivers do too. I'm not saying they should do. They don't have to. It's their money, but it would be nice to see for those fans that, supposedly got to see a race when they didn't.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. I agree. Obviously, I was in my tent at Greenfield. I was setting up my phone, got my my 5G on. I was like, right, I want to watch the race. Might sound really, sad, but wasn't really much going on during the day anyway. So I was like, you know what, I'll sit around the campsite and watch the race. And like I said, kept getting delayed. The fact that I thought it kicked off, I thought it talking about football. I thought it set off at 1:00, only for me to realise it was 2, and then obviously kept pushed back. When it got to about an hour, I was like, you know what? Like, I know they're going to try and do this race, but in my head, I thought it's not happening. Like, and the rain was just getting worse and worse. And I know they went out again and tried to, but I just thought, nah, it's not happening. And I know they were talking about potentially running on the Monday, but I know that wasn't really working with all the logistics and stuff. But yeah, a little bit gutted because, like I said, Spa is my absolute favourite track. I was looking forward to getting in bed on Monday and watching the race and seeing what George could do from his P2 on front row start. So yeah, a little bit disappointed, but at the end of the day, like I said, you've got to feel for the fans who were there because they're the ones who were the real sort of almost losers out of this because they've lost all this money, they've paid all this money to go and watch the race, and it's not gone ahead. They had 3 laps behind the safety car, however many it was. So
yeah, it was just a bit of a shambles, really. I think it would have been a lot better because they've got the weather forecast. At the start, when it first, I think it was, had they done a lap behind the safety car? They were doing the formation lap.
Yeah.
And it was on Daniel's radio where they said, right, we're expecting worse rain in 15 minutes. If you can see that and you already are struggling on a formation lap in lesser rain, you should be saying then, right, we're not running this race. Max Verstappen was the only one who said it was okay to race, but that's just because he was at the front. He's not getting the spray. George Russell in second isn't getting as much spray as, say, 10th or last, yet he's still saying it's not okay to race. So I think it was. I can understand why they kept prolonging it to see if for the fans to see if we could get a race, but it would have just been so much better if they could see the weather forecast in front of them. They should have said, right, it's off. Fans would have got the refund, but then it's exactly what Lewis Hamilton said as well, isn't it? That that's the reason why it was it was prolonged and ran, so they could keep their money, which is really, really, really sad for the sport. But we all know it's a money sport, unfortunately, and that's how it works. But I think it was amazing to let the drivers stay in there, get their podiums.
Yes.
However, George Russell got it. He got his first podium.
You know what?
Second.
You know what? Like, you can say all you want that it's not a proper podium. You can say all you want that it's not a proper P2. But I'm not.
He got himself there.
He got himself there with that lap in qualifying, and I'm not being funny. He deserves it. All the kind of stuff he's been through, this sort of, of being unlucky and kind of whatever. He really, really deserves that P2, and I don't care how he got it. He deserved it. So he should have got a win in Sakir last year. So
Well, I think this whole he doesn't deserve it. I think it's not like he was there by default. Like, let's say they made the grid up, by numbers, by their car number, or whatever. At the end of the day, he was the second fastest on the Saturday, which means if there's not a race on the Sunday, on that weekend, he was the second fastest.
Exactly.
Therefore, how is he not second?
Because that makes sense.
That's the weekend as a whole is who was second fastest.
Exactly.
It just, I think it's easy for people to kind of play it down because it wasn't a race. Because I think, in all honesty, he wouldn't have kept that second position. He would have dropped down probably. I think the highest he probably could have got was exactly. Yeah. Which still would have been great because it still would have been
points.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, he's got his podium, he's got his trophy, and he can have a bit of banter with Lando now and say he's got a better podium than him.
Exactly, and you know what I've got to say as well. In a way, I'm kind of glad that he didn't have that 3/10 on Max because I don't know. I feel like his first race win, would have been nice to be an actual race win. Do you know what I mean? And not the kind of win by. I'm not by default. No, it's not by default. Because he did work hard for that qualifying lap. But in a way, I'm kind of glad it was just a P2 because then when he comes out and gets his first race win, it can hopefully be a proper, dominating. Hopefully dominating in that Mercedes at the front next year. And smashing it. Maybe on his debut next year with Mercedes. You never know.
Oh, that would be that would literally be a fairy tale if that happened.
Oh, imagine.
It really would.
Pole position, top of the timing sheets in practice, and then winning it on Sunday. That would be an ideal day.
Give it to us. Please. It to us. So the next thing we're going to talk about is obviously the retirement of our Iceman, Raikkonen. It was the inevitable, wasn't it? We knew it was coming. We predicted it. Yeah, we knew. Well, I think a lot of people knew it was coming. I think it's the right time because he's not the driver he was anymore. No. He's, don't get me wrong. He's still a very decent driver for the car he's in, but these the mistake he had with Vettel, on the last lap. These. I think it is the right time to go. This is just his hobby at the end of the day. So let's let these younger drivers come through. Give your seat up. You're a legend in the sport. We thank you for the hilarious memories over the years. Whoa, being one of the most iconic. So it's really sad to see him go, but they've got to go at one point, and I think this was the perfect timing for him.
It made me quite sad, actually, because obviously, I love Kimi. Everyone loves Kimi. I don't think I know anyone who doesn't like him.
No, I saw a tier list, and they just really hated him, and everyone was like, what are you talking about? I hope this is a troll.
I don't know how you can hate him, but anyway, it made me think, a lot of the drivers that we love in the sport aren't spring chickens anymore. Do you know what I mean? And it's sad to see Kimi go, but then the next kind of 5 years, you can see people like Lewis and Seb and other drivers like that. They just, and it made me think. I was like, he's been in this for a long time. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's being taken over by the young ones now, isn't it? So, the next few years, a lot of people's favorite drivers are going to be retiring, and that's quite a scary thought to think about it.
Makes you feel old.
Exactly. And obviously, we all saw it coming. Like, we even predicted it. We said, look, Kimi, it's probably in his last season now. He's been doing it long enough. He's, he needs to he doesn't need to give the seat up for a young driver, but, it's probably the right thing to do. And obviously, he's getting to that age now where he wants to spend time with his family. He's been doing this for years. So, like I said, we mostly love him. Obviously, he's given us some great times, great memories. Obviously, World Championship. You can't deny he's been a fantastic driver and like fantastic
one of the best
asset to the sport. And it is a bit emotional to see him go, but I guess it is maybe a little bit refreshing that we'll maybe see some new faces in F1 due to his retirement. But yeah.
I think he's one of them. He was never really with the drivers. He was never really a popular one in the sense he just kept himself to himself. Should I say? He wasn't part of any kind of big friendship groups. He had Vettel, the most unlikely pairing of friendships, but they're somewhat so close yet so different.
Yeah.
But it was always so nice to see. But I think as a talent, he'll be really, really missed, and as a personality. But I think, with these drivers, some of them, like I remember an interview where Max and Daniel, it was when they were both at Red Bull still, and they both had said like they've never ever really made a conversation with him, like because he just keeps himself to himself. He's just Kimi Räikkönen. He goes, does his job, and goes home. But us as fans and viewers, he was so special for so many years, and as they're saying, he's just loved by pretty much everyone. Like, so it is sad to see him go, but it really is. It's a reality check that we are, like you say, gonna lose the likes of Vettel, Hamilton, Alonso. Like, I keep thinking Vettel's got about 7-8 years. Keep thinking he's about 32. He's not. He's really not. He's coming to the end soon too. Like, he's currently driving with one of his best friend's sons. Like, that makes you realise his age and how long he's got left.
Well, exactly.
Alonso's not going anywhere. He'll be there until he's a corpse in the car.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like it is funny that, like with Seb, obviously he used to kind of look up to Michael, and now obviously to see that Mick looks up to him, it's just honestly,
it's just
like, did you see them
full circle?
Did you see them at the weekend playing football together when the race was like getting delayed and stuff? I just love it, and like
Vettel and Michael used to play football together.
Exactly,
there's a video of them too. It's just
honestly, it just come around full circle, 100%. But yeah. Like I said, it's a scary thought. It is.
Yeah.
But F1 it rapidly changes. It doesn't stay the same for a while, and And the thing about Alonso, he'll probably retire and come back in 2 years again. You know what he's like. Like, I remember when everyone was doing his farewell video a couple of years ago when he left McLaren. I think it was Seb who said in one of the videos, "Good luck. We'll see you again in a few years." So everyone knew he was going to come back, but.
Next season it'll be Massa coming back again.
Oh gosh, yeah. Imagine.
Oh, that man, he couldn't stay away.
He'd done
his lap of honours, his donuts to say goodbye, and then later is back.
I won't be shocked to see Kubica back again, to be honest with you, just for the
I'd take that one. I'd be happy. So on to now the second race.
Zandvoort.
The triple header. Now this is the one I'm going to be missing because I'm at a festival, so it will be recorded, and I will be watching it on the Monday. Now, what are we kind of thinking for this one?
So I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, I don't have much experience with the track. As many people don't. My most experience is actually driving it on the F1 2021 game. And to be fair, from the game, looks really, really good. There's quite a lot of banking on it and stuff. So, it's a little bit different to what you would usually sort of have. There is like, at the end, I'm not being too technical with my tracks here, but at the end, there's like a sweeping sort of curve that you can just go full force around. And that's where I tend to do most of my overtakes on the game. So, I'm intrigued to see how they handle it, a little bit different. obviously being Max's home race, you know what happened at Lewis's home race. Could we be in for a similar incident with Max ending up in the wall, with Lewis ended up in the wall? I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be, you know, it's a little bit of the unknown, to be fair. And I feel like, you know, I'm really intrigued to see what happens. And I feel like those Dutch fans are going to be absolutely mental.
Well, there's a girl I follow on TikTok who kind of revolves around F1. That's what TikTok's about. I can't remember her handle at the moment, but she's a huge Max fan. And I kind of agree with what she was saying, that Max fans are intense.
Insane.
Very, very intense. And I'm passionate. It's amazing, you know,
yeah.
but they can be extremely, extremely intense. And this being his home race and how well he's doing at the moment, this is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And I think if Max doesn't win this, there's going to be some craziness after the race, I'll tell you that.
Yes, there will.
There's going to be a lot of hate for a lot of drivers who, you know, if anyone bumps into him, anything, him and Lewis wins.
Oh, God.
It's just going to be very high intensity this weekend. I think the whole weekend as well. It's just good that, like, obviously if you compare it to football, you can have like the chants and the boos, but in a car, well, I don't really know, but I'm guessing you don't really hear the crowd as much.
No, apparently you can't.
You know, it's not going to have that effect while they're racing, which is good, because you just know the fans are going to be lethal on Max's side. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good race, especially with missing obviously the race last weekend. Yes. I think the driver's going to be itching to get out of there. This is obviously, like you say, a track with not many people have too much knowledge on. So I think this is going to be, it's going to be exciting. We're going to see a lot of new things this weekend in terms of options of overtaking, you know, track limits, things like that. It's going to be really interesting. I'm quite excited to watch it. So I'm going to have to turn off all my notifications again, because I don't want to ruin it. I like watching the race, not knowing. I hate going into a race knowing the outcome, because I think if the winner's down in P6 or P10, I'm like, well, I know he's gonna do it. So I like to keep it hidden until I watch it live.
No, I'm the same. Yeah, like I said, I agree. I feel like it's going to be a crazy one. I just feel like, again, with the unexpectedness of it all and the fact that, you know, we've essentially gone another week without a race because of Spa, I feel like they're all going to be ready for it. We're all going to be ready for it, and obviously the fans are going to be ready for it, especially the fans that are going, especially the Max fans. You know, the Dutch fans. We know what they're like. I just think it is going to be crazy, but I feel like it could, because it's quite an unknown. Like, you know, there's not much experience that track. I feel like it could potentially mix the grid up a little bit, maybe for the result on the Sunday. I feel like things could happen. People could make mistakes that they're not used to making because they're not used to the track. I think things could happen.
I agree,
and I'm just hoping that I just want a Daniel Ricciardo podium. That's what I want. That's all I want in life right now. So
yeah.
I'm gonna. You can't look. He got P4 in qualifying. I know, obviously, he probably would have been P5 if Lando hadn't crashed out. But you know, got P4 in qualifying. Hopefully, he can build on that and get himself a podium. But yeah, should we do a prediction? What's your podium prediction?
This is hard, but I think we're gonna get not crazy surprises, but I've got a feeling it's gonna be. This is probably going to be so wrong, but Max, Lewis, and then I want to say Charles.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something I've got a weird feeling. It could. I think Ferrari are going to do well for some reason.
All right, I'm gonna go Lewis, which is, I know, very controversial. I'm gonna go Max in P2, and I'm gonna go Lando P3.
Oh, I mean, I would absolutely love that. Of course.
I don't know.
I would.
I think it's really, really, really hard to call this one. So
yeah,
anything could happen. I mean, anything could happen anyway. But anything could happen with this one.
I think for me with Leclerc, because he's quite rash, I think he's going to use it to the best of his ability. That he's just going to, because he's just going to take this track and just go at it full steam. Whereas I think Sainz will kind of do it the opposite way. He'll take it very technical, and he'll be fast. So I don't know. I've got a very strong feeling about Ferrari this weekend. So it's just going to be fun, whatever happens, because we're getting a race.
Exactly.
Fingers crossed there's no rain.
Apparently, there isn't any forecasted, so
thank God.
Like, when have we ever said that? Fingers crossed there's no rain.
I know. What is going on?
but apparently there's none forecasted, so it looks like the race will go ahead, which is good. Touch wood.
Oh, yes.
But yeah.
So it's gonna be a good one, but we're excited for a race.
We are indeed.
So that's kind of the end. It was just a quick chit chat today because obviously we didn't get a race this weekend when we were supposed to be going live, and Lauren was slightly worse for wear, so I do apologise for that. But we've got you a little chit chat. Hopefully you've got an insight of how we just kind of talk to each other about the sport in general, really, because this is just how it happens. So you've kind of just watched two friends have a chat about the sport they love, really.
Pretty much.
Obviously, remember, if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, turn the bell notification on if you're enjoying it. We always say, get in the comments, let us know what you want to see us film, because we've got a list of them, but if you've got any ideas, we're ready to hear them, because we want to create content that you enjoy as well to watch.
Yes.
So, final thing, Chels, give us all your socials.
Yeah, so, I mean, to be fair, I do have a Twitter account dedicated to F1. I've not been using it recently because, the summer break, I've not really had much to tweet about. But if you want to go and follow me on there, I don't know why I'm pointing because it's not there. It's at Formula Chels. If you want to hear from me more often, you probably better follow me on Twitter at Chel UTD, which is my football Twitter account, but I do tweet about F1 on there as well. So take your pick. I've got two. My Instagram is Chelsea Trafford if you want to follow me on there as well. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
So mine is the same Instagram, Twitter, Lauren Page Souls. You get football, boxing, and F1 on there. The whole range of sports. We will also put all of our social medias in the description as well for the starting grid. So go check all that out. We've got a TikTok. We will be posting more at some point.
I might actually use today to make some. That's a good shout. Why not?
Let's make some content today. So we make a couple of TikToks here and there. We've got our Instagram. That's more for kind of like any news in the sport, updates on videos, and also obviously our Twitter. Again, that's kind of like news updates, just tweeting fun things for you guys to interact with. So go follow us on our socials for this and individually. And we just hope you have a good weekend and enjoy the race this weekend.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. Ciao.